Good morning, everybody, or good evening, or whatever it is where you are. It's morning here. I don't usually read in the morning, so this is just a bit of a joy, to be honest, because it's so quiet around here at the moment. Anyway, let's get started. Welcome to my channel if you're new. Hello to everybody coming back. Hello, hello. As you know, I tend to try and do a weekly read on the karmic and divine masculine situation. If you have a divine masculine who is in a karmic relationship, you might be interested in this reading. So what I'm going to do is have a look at the joint energies between them, and then we'll have a look at how each of them is handling their part in the joint energy. So let's get started. Oh, Spirit are one step ahead of us. Thank you. Happy success. Okay. What is the joint energy between the divine masculine and the karmic, please? Thank you. Taking steps. Yeah, that shows some continuation of where we were at last week. Let's see. Optimism. Good. That's good to see. Behind a mask. Okay. So, yeah. They brought up for some reason they just said look at the bottom of the deck, and we have the true love card. I'm going to place that over here just for now, which I know is slightly off screen, but it's okay. We'll come back to that in a second. Okay, so what we see in the joint energy here is there's been some sort of shift, some sort of movement. For some reason, both of them are feeling that they've turned a bit of a corner here, that there's some sort of, I really get a feeling of a step forward, basically. We have obviously taking steps here. This came up in last week's reading, and it really felt that they were independently taking steps towards their goals, their bigger goals. And, you know, it feels like they're still moving forward because we have this successful energy here that, you know, both of them are happy with the way things are going. Both of them are happy with the steps that they're taking. And, of course, this has brought them a new sense of optimism. I don't know, for those of you that saw the last reading, I don't know if it was the karmic reading last week or whether it was the divine masculine reading I did a couple of days ago, but there was a card about the divine masculine looking through a doorway. I think it might have been the divine masculine read, actually. He was looking through a doorway, but could only see his happiness ahead of him, not in the place he was at. And this is very similar, but what is lovely about this card is that not only do we have this feeling of progression, this feeling of a successful step forward, but we've also got a real feeling of hopefulness, of optimism, as it says. You know, they've just said to me light at the end of the tunnel. So it feels like both the divine masculine and the karmic are feeling that they're making steps forward towards their own happiness. Okay. But there's still something that is holding them back slightly, in that they're still wearing a mask. So it may be that inwardly they're each feeling happier, as we've said, because they feel like they know which direction they're going in, but it's almost like they haven't told the outside world yet because they're both hiding behind a mask still. So it may look to people looking on, and certainly if you're looking at your divine masculine social media or even the karmic social media, it may be that it's all being presented as everything being rosy, everything being happy, you know, and it all being loved up, you know what I mean? But in actual fact, we're seeing a lot of pretending going on here. So, you know, inwardly, as I say, the energy is that they're feeling happier with where they're at, but outwardly, we're not seeing an honest picture if we're looking in on this situation. They're both wanting to actually move towards their true love. Okay, so the situation they're in at the moment, and this is the card that came up at the bottom of the deck, the True Love card. The situation that came up, I'll say that again. It's the mornings, they affect my words. Yeah, so we had this card at the bottom of the deck, which is the True Love card. But at the moment, because they're masking their current situation, it's preventing them from getting to their true love. So they need to work through this step. And hopefully with this sense of optimism that is coming through the cards today, you know, it shows us that they're moving closer to their true love, which of course is their divine feminine in terms of the divine masculine, obviously. What I find interesting about this particular True Love card as well is there's a reflection here. And so while they're hiding behind their mask, remember we're looking at joint energies at the moment. So while they're hiding behind their mask, they're actually doing a lot of soul searching, a lot of reflecting on what it is that brings them true love. And of course, that is part of their sort of development as individuals in terms of finding out what it is they truly want from life and, you know, what steps they need to take in order to get there. And I feel that they are getting there because I feel this soul searching has been going on for a little while, you know. Right, let's as normal see what the feelings are. I'm going to go with some, I usually go with the sorry, I'm thinking aloud. I usually go with certain sets of cards to do these readings, but I'm going to go with these particular oracle cards at the moment. Then we'll do some clarifiers with tarot. I'll get my words. I'm not a morning person at all. So if it takes a while for me to say the words, you know why. Right. Can we focus on the divine masculine, please? On the divine masculine. What are the feelings of the divine masculine regarding this happy success? What else can you tell us about this? Yeah, we have not for you. I think, you know, there's been this realization for the divine masculine that in order for him to feel happy, he's got to move away from the situation that he's in because he knows that it's not for him. And that has actually helped him to feel a bit more successful, a bit happier about things because, you know, it's opened his eyes to a situation and now he has that awareness. He's in a better position to do something about it. So, what are the steps that he's taking, please? What are the steps that he's taking? Yeah, he's asking himself all sorts of questions, you know. I think he's taking guidance, and it's interesting that the Y card has come up because it feels like, you see, this book has got wings attached to it, and it does feel like he's questioning the spirituality of this situation, that he's questioning his angels if he talks to angels, he's questioning the spirit. He's questioning the universe, you know, why am I in this situation, but why am I feeling like this? You know, why have these changes happened? You know, like I said, he's doing a lot of reflecting, a lot of soul searching still at the moment. So the question why is coming up a lot for him, but they've just said the word profound and they've drawn my attention to, sorry, I've leapt on there. They have just said the word profound, and I think that he's finding this awareness that he now has to be quite profound. It's almost like a light bulb moment, you know? But they've drawn my attention also to the bunting. Again, this feeling of happiness, celebration, success. He feels like energy has shifted here. You know, he feels happier. He feels like he's this awareness has brought him more lightness in a way. So, you know, that's really helpful for the divine masculine. Do you know, I'm going to do things a bit differently because I'm going to have a look at the karmic as we go along. Rather than do the divine masculine, then the karmic, and then back to the divine masculine like I normally do, I'm just going to see how their reactions to these things are, to these joint energies, are similar or how they differ. So let's see. Sorry, Spirit, but can we go back to the happy success for the karmic? Okay, let me know if you don't like that, Spirit. Can we go back and see, with this realization that the divine masculine has, how is the karmic feeling? And why is the karmic feeling this happy success? Why is the karmic feeling this happy success? Okay, she's not taking it very seriously. As I always say in my readings, by the way, they aren't gender specific. We're talking energies. I just use the term he and she, okay? So please let that apply to your situation as it does. Okay, so yeah, she's not taking this very seriously. So while the divine masculine has had this awareness and this awakening, and therefore the mood has lifted in him, the karmic is just laughing about this situation, and there's a bit of denial coming through there, you know. What is really fascinating about those cards coming up together is look at the stance of the characters in there. Look at this guy here with his arms out held, and he's looking up with this joyous feeling, and look at this Jack in the Box here. That's crazy, isn't it? They've both got their arms outstretched. They're both looking upwards. There's both a look of joy. And I know they're not the key characters, but, you know, this little guy has his arms up and they're smiling too. But I just find that really interesting because it mimics this. I don't think the karmic is taking it particularly seriously. And maybe she's just enjoying the divine masculine being a bit lighter in his mood, you know? Let's see what comes next. What about the steps then for the karmic? While the divine masculine is questioning everything, Spirit, what is the karmic feeling? What steps is she taking? What steps is the karmic taking? Yeah, you see, there is a bit of denial going on here, because although last week she was feeling like she was ready to make steps, I think when it comes to the reality of it, I think she's trying to ignore that it's happening, you know. She still doesn't feel it's quite real. So she's trying not to take offence at the divine masculine, sort of, maybe he's having moments where he is quite quiet because he is thinking things through. And she's trying not to take things personally. She's trying to be light-hearted about everything because, you know, as we said, she's just laughing it off, really. And yeah, what's interesting is in this card is that things are, I always think it's like the Chariot card in the tarot, because obviously we have the Chariot here, but there's very much about forward movement. They're all facing in the same way. So, you know, she does know that things are moving forward, but she's deciding not to take it personally, which actually could be, you know, a really good thing for the karmic. We all know that this relationship just, you know, was destined to teach both of them lessons, because that's what karmic relationships are all about. So let's see why the divine masculine is feeling particularly optimistic then this week. Thank you, Spirit. So it may well be that, again, we have this bunting here, so there's this joyous energy, but it may be that, you know, he's been out and about more. We said this last week, I think, with things opening up more, it may just be that he's out socialising. Maybe they're both out socialising, wearing this mask, you know, mixing with family and friends, pretending everything's okay, but going out to more sort of social venues, etc. He may be helping people in the community. You see this giraffe here is, you know, looking after their young ones. So there may be children involved here. So they may have been involved in doing activities with their children this week, if there's children in the mix here. But yeah, again, you know, this is what's brought the lighter energy this week. for the divine masculine. Let's see how the karmic has coped with that. How is the karmic feeling more optimistic then, Spirit? How's the karmic feeling more optimistic? Thank you. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. Look, there's been a change of scenery. So they've been out and about this week. They may have been out together. They may have been out as a family. They may have been out individually. But whatever, it has helped the energy to feel lighter because they've had a change of scenery. They've done things differently and it's brought more light. Look at this. Last week we saw, you know, the beginning of things changing. But we saw more sort of grey energy. This week they're bringing in lighter energy. And this is probably why the karmic's been able to just ignore what's happening or not take offence at it because, you know, they're out and about. There's more distractions, basically. So let's see about this mask. Let's just concentrate on the mask card, if we may, please, Spirit, rather than the true love card. Let's have a look at this mask. What can you tell us about the divine masculine wearing this mask? How is he going to get around this? What's he up to? You know, how is he coping with that energy? Yeah, it's making him feel very isolated. He's not enjoying wearing this mask, you know? Because he's ready to take his steps forward towards his true love. So, you know, he's not happy with it. It's making him feel very isolated, very alone, it's clouding the issue. Look at the cloudiness around that person sitting there on their own. It's clouding the issue because he knows what he wants. But he knows he's not going to get it if he keeps wearing this mask. We'll do some tarot in a second and figure out what he's going to do about it. Says me with feeling. But you know what I mean. Let's just have a look at the karmic and how the karmic's coping with this mask. How's the karmic coping with this mask? What's her feeling about it, Spirit? Sorry, I missed it. Thank you. Yeah, look, that is the mood she's in this week. Obviously, being out and about, she's enjoying that. Because I guess if the two of them aren't sort of, or even, you know, the family of them, if there's children, they're not sort of stuck indoors, having to focus on their relationship. They've got distractions this week. So she's basically gone out and had fun, you know, ignored everything that's happening and basically just gone with the flow. So, you know, I think the karmic has found it, I was going to say she's found it easier, but I felt that was a really strange feeling, Spirit. But it's like I felt pressure in my sort of rib cage here. It's almost like somebody was stopping me moving forward. So although she is presenting as though she's not taking anything seriously and she's been out there having fun, the reality is that this karmic knows that they're play acting, basically. And, you know, she's presenting as having fun. That's how she's coped with it this week. But in actual fact, I can still feel it now. It's like they're pushing me backwards. It's like, you know, somebody's saying to her, this isn't real. You know, let's push you away from this because we need you to stop pretending that everything's fine. Because actually it's not. You know, and you know that deep down. So that was a really strange energy. Okay. Let's just go through with some tarot. I think we'll use these, and I think we'll use these. Okay. So... do we have some more information about the steps that the divine masculine is going to take moving forward regarding this success? Sorry, I just sort of dropped those, but they do want me to take this So we have the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is about things working in the divine masculine's favour, about, you know, yeah, just things working out really. So he now knows that the situation that he's in isn't for him, and he's working towards things falling into place. You know, he knows which way he's going, but things will naturally fall into place because he's being divinely guided. So there's going to be sort of an upswing for him. They've also just said to me career. So it may well be that for your divine masculine, he's getting a breakthrough in his career, which will help him maybe have the finance to move forward, or maybe just, you know, change where he's located, you know, whatever that means for your divine masculine. Yeah. A sequence of events, they've just said. So it could well be a sequence of events that will help him to move things forward. So let's have a look at these steps, and then we'll do the top two for the karmic. So he's questioning himself about these steps, Spirit, about what he wants. We know what he wants, but yeah. So he knows that something has got to end. Something has got to basically come crashing down. We have the Tower card here. So he knows that in order to take these steps forward, or to continue to take steps forward and take the biggest one, which is basically leaving his current situation, he knows that, you know, everything has got to change, basically. You know, the Tower card is all about things breaking down before something new can grow. So, and it may be, for some of them, it may be about the way that they're doing things, the way that they're relating to the karmic. They may well have to break down their sort of attitude. You know, it can be that sort of thing also, in order to move forward. But he knows that change has to happen, and he knows it's got to be big. Let's see what the karmic knows. How is the karmic going to move forward from this sort of moment of happiness? Does she know what's going to happen next? Does she want things to move forward? Where is she at, please, Spirit? Okay, so the karmic is seeing that, you know, it's almost like she's got some sort of dream coming true here, her wish fulfillment. Let's have another card on that, because we need to know, is that away from, is she feeling that this is going to be away from the divine masculine spirit? Or is it that she feels that she's now going to have her freedom because things have been difficult? Okay, so there's going to be some sort of big decision. She feels happier because a decision's been made. Okay, you know, she feels it's the right decision. She feels that it's just, you know, and things have been, it's interesting in this card because we have an uneven, you see the scales here, they're uneven. And she wants to right that. She wants to put that back in its place because she feels that there's been, they've just said the words power struggle. So, you know, for the karmic, it may well be that she's feeling happier this week because she knows that a decision's been made, and maybe she's been struggling. Regardless of wearing this mask and pretending, you know, when they're behind closed doors, maybe the relationship with the divine masculine has been a real struggle for the karmic recently because of the way he's feeling, and because she knows that those emotions aren't there anymore. So maybe it's a relief for her that this decision has been made, and that is why we're seeing her wish fulfillment there. So what are we seeing in terms of the steps? What will be the steps that the karmic wants to take from this situation in order to move forward, please, Spirit? Okay, so she's still hoping for an offer of love. We've seen throughout the whole journey in this particular karmic and divine masculine relationship, we have seen a karmic who is excuse me, they're playing with my throat chakra. They've just said think it through. Okay, that's a message for me, not for you. she's still hoping for a message of love. Deep down, she's still hoping for a turnabout from the divine masculine. Although she's accepted that a decision's been made, she's still hoping that he will change his mind and bring a love offer. The reason they said think it through to me, if you notice my throat chakra is now clearer, but the reason they said think it through to me was I was thinking this was going to be a love offer from someone else. It's not a love offer from someone else. She is not taking anything that he says personally at the moment because she feels that he won't carry through the Tower moment. Okay, so this is where the divine masculine's at, this is where the karmic's at. She's still hoping that this Tower moment won't happen. As we talked about denial a little bit earlier, she's hoping that he'll still come back with a love offer, regardless of the fact that things have been quite difficult for them. Let's see where the divine masculine then is at in terms of his optimism and being out this week. What's this all about, please, Spirit? How are they going to move things forward from that, from those distractions? There's going to be some sort of message, some sort of honest message spoken. So I think there's going to be honest conversations again between them. But when this card first came out, I did get the feeling that the divine masculine was going to be talking to someone else. I don't think it's you, divine femme, at this moment in time. While he's sorting this situation out, I think this honest conversation is going to happen with a friend or a family member, someone around him. And this is where the cracks in the mask will begin, because I don't feel he can keep it to himself anymore, because he's feeling optimistic about where he wants to be, what he wants to do in terms of being with his true love. So the mask is going to start to crack because he's going to be more honest and more open with someone who's around him. Yes, I do think he's going to have an honest conversation again with the karmic, but I do get the feeling he's also talking to other people about this. It may be, excuse me, that he's talking to one specific person, but it may be that his attitude is changing and that the people around him in the community, the people he's mixing with, maybe they're beginning to see the cracks in this relationship, because keeping up this pretense is really difficult for both of them. How will the karmic respond to this? How is the karmic going to move this forward? Yeah, you see, that's going to make the karmic a little bit withdrawn, because as the cracks begin to show in the sort of arena that they're in, you know, with the people that they're mixing with, it's going to make the karmic feel like she needs to withdraw, she needs to reflect herself, and she needs to hang on to the bit of the mask that she's still got, you know? She doesn't want the cracks to show. But it's going to be out of her control. She's going to be looking while she's reflecting for some way forward. You see how this particular hermit is being led by the moonlight, you know? She doesn't want the truth to come out. She wants to hide. She wants to hide in the shadows of the moon, you know, basically. But you see, she's looking for this light to guide her way. She doesn't know how to handle this, because she's enjoyed the reaction of people around her for the fact that she's been in this relationship. She now doesn't know how to handle it when the cracks begin to show. So this is what we're seeing moving forward, which is an interesting development. Finally, we're seeing the divine masculine stepping up and taking the lead in this situation, rather than the months and months of game playing that we've been seeing before. So how's he going to move forward? How's the divine masculine going to move forward from feeling alone, from feeling in the fog? You know, is this conversation going to help? I have throat chakra issues. I do apologise. Yeah, look, now this came up before. This divine masculine is acting at times at the moment in quite an underhand way, you know? So it may well be that he's speaking his truth to people, but hasn't gone particularly public about it. There may just be a close band of friends who know about their situation and how the cracks are beginning to show. But he's being, yeah, a bit devious at the moment. So it may be that he's making plans behind the Karmic's back in order to keep the peace while he sorts everything out. They've just said to me a done deal. So it's almost like the divine masculine wants his plans in place, and so that he knows exactly what he's doing before he actually creates this final tower moment. Do you want to give us another one, Spirit? It's not that one, okay. We have a card facing the wrong way, and usually that doesn't bother me, but yeah. Okay, so we have, he is being creative about it. Again, we have this, another message. Pages are always, not always, they're often about messages, contact, etc., etc. And there is a creativity to the Page of Cups. There's he's being devious, and this is why Spirit drew my attention to that card that was the wrong way round. The reason that he's being devious is not because he's a particularly devious character, although I think everyone has that in them to a certain degree, but the divine masculine doesn't know quite how to handle it. He doesn't feel emotionally experienced enough with love matters to be able to handle this in a mature fashion yet. Doesn't mean that he's not going to. It just means that he's been struggling to know how to handle it. And that's why he's come across as being a bit devious. And it's just about his, there's a bit of immaturity going on here because he just doesn't know the best way to handle this. But he knows that he's going to handle it, which is a major step forward from where we were a few months ago. And how's the Karmic going to... Oh, wrong cards. Apologies. How's the Karmic going to handle it, please, Spirit? How's the Karmic? Thank you. Okay, the Karmic is going to try and take some control. She wants stability. She wants to keep the stability here. She at least wants to be stable in her life. So the Karmic may respond after all her soul searching and her hoping to find the way forward. She's hoping to respond by making sure that she protects what she's got. Now, I don't get the feeling that's about her. Yes, I was going to say about her keeping the divine masculine. We know that she really, in her heart of hearts, she wants things to stay the same and she wants him to come back in with loving energy. But when the chips are down, as we say, jargon, but you know what I mean, she actually wants to hold on to her stability, her financial security. She wants to feel like she's going to be okay. She wants to be in control of this situation. She wants to call the shots in a way, but what is driving that is that she really wants to know that she's going to be financially stable, particularly if there's children involved here. You know, she wants to know that she's going to have a roof over her head, that she's going to be financially stable, and, you know, she doesn't want to be left with nothing. So, you know, yeah, I mean, as I look at this card more, I look at this staircase behind the king here. She wants to feel very grounded. You see, he's at the base of this staircase. She doesn't want the struggle of having to create things for herself. She doesn't want to have to climb the stairs on her own. She wants to be sitting with her stability, with her financial security and her home security at the bottom of the staircase without having to climb it. Okay, so, you know, she will... This may be why the divine masculine is being a bit devious, because he wants everything to be set, because he knows the negotiating, you know, is going to be difficult when it comes to the actual tower. So he's putting things in place so that it can be easier when that happens. Can we have another card for the karmic, please? How else is she going to manage this step? Yeah, you see, she's still trying to get round him. She will still use her loving energy. She will still, you know, be caring, you know, and it could well be that it's about this. The reason that she wants this stability is not only for herself, but also because she may have children that she's needing to nurture, you know. If there are children in the mix and she will be the main carer, she has to feel that she will be in the position to be able to look after them. That may be one of her deep-seated fears, you know. So, you know, there's a reason for both of them, for the divine masculine behaving in a devious way at times, and the karmic saying, no, I have to know I am financially stable if this tower moment's going to happen, but it's because I need to look after the children, if there's children involved. It could also be about self-care. She's looking after her own interest and nurturing herself if there's not children involved, or even if there is. You know, she wants to feel that she's going to be okay. Okay, so I'm going to pull a couple of cards as messages to you, Divine Femmes, but do let me know how that felt. It felt a bit backwards and forwards for me today because I changed the way I did things, but I just felt it would be quite interesting to have a look at both of them on, you know, at each level. But do let me know in the comments if you prefer it that way, or if you prefer me to go straight down the two lines like I normally do. It's really helpful to know what you enjoy most. So let's pull a couple of Moonology. A couple of Moonology, please, for the Divine Feminine. What's your advice for the Divine Feminine, please, Spirit? Thank you. Oh, well, this is putting the cat among the pigeons, as they say. Be bold and make the first move. So while you're Divine Masculine, and this is an interesting, I'm surprised this has come up yet, because although the Divine Masculine's feeling a lot happier and a lot more focused, and he knows you're his true love and he knows that he wants to be with you, the reason that I think they're saying be bold and make the first move is because he still doesn't quite know how to handle it, because he's still, you know, not very experienced in proper relationships. Proper relationships. That sounded really bad, but you know what I mean. You know, he's had this karmic relationship. He has gone through a lot of lessons. He is, you know, coming out of it maybe a bit battered and bruised, you know, emotionally, and he doesn't quite know perhaps how to step forward towards you. The reason I said I was surprised it came up now is because of the timing issue. Because I do think he's at the final stages of sorting out this situation so that he can bring in the full tower moment. And at the moment, I wouldn't have thought he needs you necessarily in the mix. So that's why I said I was surprised. But it could be that as you hear information, and I do think you will hear things through the grapevine because the mask is slipping, that's the time for you to be bold and make the first move, because he still doesn't know quite how to bring that love offer to you. You know, he's in page mode here, not in night mode. So that's the time when you probably need to be bold and make that first move. As I say, to go in right now when the tower moment hasn't happened, maybe that's not the right timing. But let's see what else they advise. Spirit, what else for the Divine Feminine, please? Yeah, you see, it is coming to a resolution. We had this last week. A personal issue reaches resolution. So this is being sorted out. The Tower moment's on its way. So as I said, this is going to be a timing issue. You will know when you hear about the cracks that are happening, and you will be hearing them soon. I feel it quite strongly. That is your moment to be bold. Definitely. Let's have a third one. Thank you. Yeah. Whatever happened in the past, put it behind you, Divine Femme. Like I said, it's no good trying to think about union on one hand, and on the other hand, not forgiving the Divine Masculine for what has happened before, you know? Because the past will only hold you back. It will stop union from happening. And we're not saying, you know, just let him treat you like, you know what, you know, I'm not saying that at all, because you are the Empress, you are powerful, you know, but if you dwell on things that happened in the past, you will keep your energy stuck in the past, and that will stop union from moving, you know, stop you from moving forward to union. So, you know, it's about a fresh attitude. It's about today is today. How do I want this relationship to be moving forward? That is the most powerful energy you can bring right now. And then when the time is right, that's the time to move forward and be bold. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed that reading. It felt like a long one today. I don't know why. I think it's probably because of the jumping backwards and forwards. But let me know, as I say, what you enjoyed. I do appreciate all your comments, all your likes. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm, as well as me hearing your feedback. So that's lovely. And yeah, have a beautiful Sunday, everybody. It's Sunday here in the UK. So yeah, whatever day it is for you, whatever day you're watching this, you know, have a beautiful day. And we'll do another karmic read next week. So yeah, take care everyone, and speak to you soon. Bye.